So I make a lot of wargaming tokens and accessories that people use in tabletop gaming. So I'm going to show you how to create a token using Fusion360 and Inkscape and Bambu Studio to make a multicolor token that you can print on a Bambu printer. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a sketch in Fusion. These are all free applications, so you don't need to pay any money to do any of this. And I'm going to make a 25mm round circle using that center diameter circle tool. Now I'll click solid and I'll extrude that up a couple of millimeters and then export that as an STL file. So once that's exported, we can come over to Inkscape and I'm just going to create a circle. So I'll make that 24mm by 24 because I want this to be a border for my token. So I'll get rid of the fill and choose stroke instead and stroke that at 1mm. And again, I'll export that as an SVG file. Once that's been exported, we can add some text. So I'm just going to put +1 there. I'll get rid of the stroke and I'll fill it instead. It's about the right size for my token already. So I can delete off that border and then I'll just select this. I'll choose Object to Path under the Path tool. We need to do that because if we don't do that, then when we import it into Bambu, it won't read the SVG correctly and it will just import a blank file. So we'll go and save that as an SVG as well. Now if we come over to Bambu, you can see this is the finished part and I'll show you how we make that. So the first thing is to import the circle. So you can see this is my 25 by 25 circle and it's 2mm tall. I'm going to right click on that, I'll choose add part and then choose SVG. I've chosen the border first, so I'm just going to press 2 to make that a different color. And then I'm going to go to the scale tool, choose world coordinates and put it down to 1mm. And then I'll just put it in the center of my token. So now we've got a 2mm base with a 1mm border on the top. Do the same again. I'll right click, add part, choose S. And this time we'll put the text in there. So I'll make that a different color again. And then I'll choose world coordinates, make it 1mm tall. And then I'll just use these arrows to put it about where I want it. We don't want it to be quite central because it won't line up very well. So I'll put it about there. And then if we just copy this a couple of times and then slice it, you can see that this is what we get out. So we've got a token here with text and a border on the top and a 2mm base. And these are 25 rounds, so they match a lot of common wargaming bases, and you can use them as markers and things as well. You can put any text you want on there using Inkscape. You just need to export it to an SVG and put it on top of your token base.